Hey, welcome to Dave's Garage. I've had this rig behind me for about 2 weeks now. Time to get a winch on the front of her. Went ahead and bought this hidden winch mount from Trail Team or Trail Tough or somebody like that. It's pretty light compared to an aftermarket bumper, so stay tuned if you want to see what not to do. We'll get this bad girl installed. Now keep in mind that since this is a LandBruiser, it's a very sensitive and high maintenance vehicle. So what you're going to want to do is get the factory service manual and then gently set it on the hood of the LandBruiser so it knows it's there. Makes the LandBruiser comfortable, lets you know a competent person's working on it. I don't recommend opening in the manual, just have it nearby so it calms the LandBruiser down. Alright, so there you go. Give you an idea how this thing fits in here. Uses these factory nut certs on the frame to go ahead and sit in there. You can see there's enough room to get to the transcooler there. The idea though is once you get the winch on, you've got to take the control block off the top of it. So give me a second, I'll show you that. Alright, you see what I mean by mushrooming here? This washer used to be flat, but only putting 69 foot-pounds of torque on it, it mushroomed. So these must have just been grade 5 or whatever. I'll go get a thick hardened washer from across the street, suck that back down, and we'll keep moving. All right, there you can see the thick hardened washers. Those aren't mushrooming. I'm going to add a 6th bolt to this. I'm going to put one on each side, and what that'll do is it'll prevent the winch plate from going like this. All right, we added those extra 2 bolts, so that's a total of 6. Let's go ahead and check the tightness of these bolts. Keeping in mind we're using a torque spec of 69. That's 1. That's 2. 3. 4. Alright, so those are all torque to spec. Like I said, we got this 6th bolt right here. That'll help with this kind of motion on the winch plate. Alright, now we got to get ready for the real work, which is putting the winch in, relocating the controller, and then cutting the dick out of the bumper. Stay tuned. Oh, didn't see it standing there. Let's get a little bit of water. Keep putting that winch bumper on, huh? This is a modification I made to my 80 series LandBruiser lower rear control arm. It's just a piece of angle iron there welded to it. You guys can take a look at my dog shit 120 welds because my 220 welder's out of gas. This is going to be a lot better than what comes from the factory. Key thing for doing this here, you want to stay out of the heat affected zone. The factory welds, joining the ends to the tube. And then you don't have to weld all the way along that seam. You can just do a couple of stitch welds. All right, guys, stay grungy. All right, fast forward a couple of days and we've extended the wiring to mount the winch controller up here by the battery. Give me a second because I'm going to trim this bumper a little bit more, then we'll remount it, give you an idea of the finished product. Alright, so there's the result of cutting up the front bumper. Again, the idea is it's lighter than going with an aftermarket bumper. Got a little quick disconnect here for the winch. There's the controller. So we're good to go.